God damn it. God damn it. So I should really watch my language because that's kind of one of my gripes about this movie. But I am just unwaveringly loyal when it comes to things that I love, especially pieces of my childhood that I get to grow up with and I get new versions of down the line. You know, Halloween is one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite franchises. I find, or I try to find things about Halloween Resurrection to love. I just do. It doesn't always work, you know, especially toys, though. You know, when we're young, toys, they're our best friends before we get best friends. So, growing up with He-Man and G.I. Joe and the Transformers and the whole lot of them, everything, Thundercats, all of it, you name it, I had a special place in my heart for it. Going to the store wasn't such a chore because at least I got to go to the toy aisle and check out what I would like to have, maybe what I would save my allowance up for. So in order to be able to see some of that stuff go out onto the silver screen, I think it's a really huge deal, and I think it's something that should be celebrated and not taken lightly. So going into Masters of the Universe, I apologize, I'm long-winded, but fuck it. Going into Masters of the Universe, they did the trailer thing with us, and they gave us a trailer that made it look very cool. And, you know, there were complaints because there's complaints about everything. I don't care that the guy isn't massive. That doesn't matter because it just doesn't matter. Because the whole story is this sword is empowering this chosen one with the power and the abilities of a god, more or less. So I didn't care about any of that. I did not care about the change to Man-at-Arms. Idris Elba is a tremendous actor. I didn't care about any of that stuff. I was just really excited to see a movie. So we watched the movie, and listen, a half an hour in, I wanted to beat my head against the wall because what audience are you trying to cater to with this film? I'm assuming you're trying to do both. You're trying to appeal to the people that grew up with the toys and the cartoon and the comic books, those badass comic books that came with the toys. And I also assume that you're trying to grab the younger demographic as well because, you know, toys are cool, He-Man's cool. There's a lot of things you could do with it, video games, Funko Pops. You know, there's still plenty of people that can enjoy and celebrate this universe that they made. But what the... Let's go over the positives first. Okay, Skeletor was awesome. I'm not a Jared Leto guy for a lot of reasons. I'm a girl dad, so some of the stuff I've heard about him I'm not fond of. And realistically, you didn't even know it was him. You couldn't see him. It was all, you know, the design of Skeletor was amazing. The voice work was great. Skeletor was a 10 out of 10 for me in this movie. Evelyn was really good. I thought Alison Brie nailed the role. I enjoyed everything she did here. I enjoyed her more than the version we got in 1987. And Cringer was here for 15 seconds. And so I liked seeing him in the movie. And Grayskull, come on, Grayskull looked tremendous, just tremendous. But man, why are we cussing throughout a Masters of the Universe movie? I'm no prude. I cuss all the time. But there's a place for it. I don't cuss in front of kids in public. I try to be respectful. And if we're catering to that sort of demographic, that youth, what are we doing making the sorts of remarks and jokes that we're making in this film? Now, maybe some of them go over the kids' heads. Maybe the fisting stuff. Maybe they don't understand what you're talking. I hope to hell they don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that stuff. But there is a scene later on where Skeletor is talking about the beautiful sword hanging between He-Man's glorious thighs. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is the point of doing any of that? Now, I don't know. I have a theory that the creator of this movie got a bag of money from the studio and elbowed his buddy and said, watch what I'm going to do with this shit right here. It's just a theory. I'm sure that they're going to be able to build off of this and make other shit. But why are we making Man-at-Arms a drunk? I get the roller coaster ride of him going through what he went through. By the way, there's going to be some spoilers here. I apologize. I should have said that early on. I'll make sure I put a big word up on the video when I edit it to let you know. Don't listen if you don't want to know about the nonsense that happens in this 2-hour and 12-minute movie. Man-at-Arms, I don't understand why he had to be drunk. He had trauma. He had an ordeal. He feels like he failed the people closest to him. I understand all that, but this is a 80s story that was marketed to children, toys to children. there's some themes that we could probably do without. And look, Adam is a complete wimp in this movie, and I understand the difference between Adam the Prince and He-Man, and I get it. I know all that, but this guy, going out there trying to use conflict resolution in these situations, it's a little too over the top. Nobody in that situation, and granted, it's a fantastic situation that nobody could ever imagine themselves being in, but nobody in that situation is going to approach somebody looking like some of these bad guys and expect to talk them off the ledge. There's a pivotal point at the end of the film where he tries to appeal to Skeletor's nature and, there's good in you, and, we can work through this. And the guy literally just imprisoned his mom and his dad for 15 years. This is not a good guy. This is not a guy that you sit down and have a beer with. This is a mortal enemy. And to Skeletor's credit, he reminds him of such. This is like, to me, it's an ultimate cash grab. Now, 1987's Masters of the Universe, a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was criminally underrated. We did a show on it. I dug a lot of it. I think that they took some things from the story and really utilized them well, and there's other things they took a lot of liberties with, budget reasons, etc. and so forth. So the 1987 film is definitely different from the cartoon. It introduced a lot of characters that they probably didn't have to do too much makeup for. Blade is kind of a stupid character, but my point being, the 1987 one blows this one out of the water. Now, the things they got right, they got right. Castle Grayskull looks great. The Power Sword, that sword is glorious. It's fantastic. But this whole side quest of sending Adam to Earth and, Adam always trying to find his way back home, and then he has these images of these characters, and that's why they get these names that they get, like Ram Man and Fisto and, Mechaneck. Man, it's entirely possible I'm being way too sensitive about this thing, but there's literally a scene once they find out what their names are, or once they start making fisting jokes, that they're standing around in a circle laughing uncontrollably at the sky, where, Adam mentions that he gave himself the name He-Man, and they start making fun of the name He-Man, and it's just like, I don't understand why any of that exists. Listen, I'm very old school, you can call me old, whatever. I know what this whole story and what these characters were rooted in, and this is a major departure from that for my taste. Battle Cat is not Battle Cat until he gets hit with the power from the sword, and this cat just, takes a little motivational talk and he jumps right into the fray. This would have been a 0 out of 10 for me if it wasn't for Skeletor. Skeletor killed it. He was fantastic. Every scene he was in, he stole. He was just the guy. And if he's not in the movie, I'm not watching the movie. And I'm never going to watch this movie again. And I'm a huge... Guys, there's a He-Man up there in the corner. I've got Funkos all over the place. To this day, in my old dementia-ridden body, I love the story of the Masters of the Universe. Hell, I even like Hordak and all that other shit that branched off with his sister. But it's a bummer. It's a major letdown. And I know there's some people that really love it. There's some high rankings out there. Somebody gave it a 9. Good for you, man. I'm not gonna hate on what you love. I don't get it. I'm really bummed out by it. And I'm watching it with my son, who is privy to some of the lore, and he just kept looking over at me to see how I would react, because he knew that this was a steaming pile of shit on the screen in front of us. And that's kind of what they gave us here, and I'm very bummed out by it. I wish it hadn't happened, but it happened, and here we are. We can heal from this. I feel like we can get back to some semblance of good. I won't watch any of the follow-up movies because I don't have any hope for it. It sucked the hope out of me. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. So listen, if it's something that you wanted to see, please do not let me dissuade you. Go out there, find out for yourself. And you're more than welcome to come back here and tell me how wrong I am. I get it. I've got daughters. I get told that every day. I just wanted to come from a place of, this was my childhood. This is something that when I was a kid, it was lightsabers and it was He-Man's sword. And that is what I always asked for. And I always checked under my bed, under my pillow. I wanted nothing else for the rest of the year. I just wanted these two weapons, which probably says a lot about me as a child. I probably should have been on a watch list or something. Or at the very least, I should have had serious discussions with a professional. But I'm the audience. I'm the guy that goes to see these movies. They're coming for my money, and they gave us something dreadful. Just bottom of the basement type shit. I'm not happy about it, and I'm going to stop ranting because somebody should go watch it and come back here and either tell me I'm stupid or commiserate with me, and I'm here for both discussions. So until next time, by the power of Grayskull, you guys.